Hello everybody and welcome back to another Jace Young video. Now as I looked at this week's video, I was trying to think about what do you guys really want? And over the past few weeks, you guys have been clear that there is one video in particular that you loved. The brand new first episode of Retro Resale. So in honor of that episode, I bring you episode 2, or maybe 1.5? But we'll probably, maybe 1.5. Maybe we'll call it 2. We'll see. I don't know. We'll decide what I end up calling it. But I realized in that episode, I didn't really get to give you guys a chance to see the full list of games that we're really hunting for. You knew that the orange GameCube was the goal in that video, but there are so many other items and things that we want for the GameCube. In fact, behind me here on this whiteboard, I actually have a list of over 100 games and other accessories that we want for our GameCube. Now, just simply showing you that list isn't enough, right? You can see a few things on there that maybe stick out to you that you like, but you may not actually know what is truly rare when it comes to the GameCube. So today, I am bringing you the top 10 most expensive GameCube items that I need in my collection. Now, the only way to actually do this for you guys was, of course, a tier list. So I've gone to this lovely website and created a tier list for you guys, and we are going to rank the top 10 most expensive items on the GameCube based on how much I really need them in my collection. The top section of this is I need it now, meaning I need it right now. I have to go out and buy it. It is a top priority for me in the collection. The next one is soon for sure, meaning, of course, it's something that I want, but it's not quite all the way as in I need it right this minute, but it would be awesome to have. Next up is add it to the list, meaning throw it on there. Of course, put it on the list. That's what we've been doing. We see something cool, we throw it on the list. That's what Parker and I do. Next up is I'll maybe get it one day. It's not something that's an absolute need for me. It's awesome because it's an expensive GameCube item, but it's not something I need right now. And then finally is the last possible thing I would buy. It's not something like I need, but like I need it. You know what I mean? Like I need it because it's rare, but like not necessarily because it's something that I'm gonna like play and use all the time. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Now I have my handy dandy little video notebook here to help me because I wrote down my list. So let's hit it with number 1, Resident Evil Code Veronica X. If you're like me, when you first started getting into this little hobby, maybe you didn't know what Resident Evil really was. I've heard of Resident Evil, before this, and I know it's a game that people liked, but I just didn't know that much about it. Well, turns out on the GameCube, there is like a load of Resident Evil games. There is Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4. They also came out with a prequel, Resident Evil 0, and then a game which, based on my research, I believe falls in between Resident Evil 3 and 4, which is called Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Now, if you caught the first episode of the series, I picked up Resident Evil 4. I have since played that game, and it freaking rocks. It is so much fun, and I see why people say it's like one of the main games that you have to have if you're gonna buy a GameCube. So, naturally, I decided I need every single one of these Resident Evil games. It would be a sick collection. Now, these games are actually pretty expensive. Resident Evil 4, which is one of the most popular on the GameCube, is actually one of the cheaper ones. It was like 30 bucks. But Resident Evil 2 and 3 in particular go in like the $100 range. But by far the most expensive of the Resident Evil games is Code Veronica X. Now this game goes for $186.63. By the way, all of these prices are based off of Price Charting, which is an app that compares recently sold prices on eBay. So for $186, you can get Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Now, I gotta have all the Resident Evil games. That's pretty freaking cool. But it's not something I need like right away. There are other games that I would like to try first before getting this game. And I wouldn't say that Code Veronica X in specific is one that I need like right away. So I'm gonna throw this one on, add it to the list. Throw it on the list. It's something I'm gonna get. At some point I'm gonna get it. And when I get it, it's gonna be awesome. It is the most rare Resident Evil game and one of the most rare GameCube games. But like, I don't need it right away. You know what I mean? I don't need it right away. There's other things I would like to play first. Next up at number 2, we have Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. Now, if you're like me, the only thing you know about Fire Emblem is Super Smash Bros. All these guys that are in Super Smash Bros. You know, Marth, Roy, Ike. There's probably like 6 others that I'm forgetting because I think there's a lot in the game. I know that Fire Emblem is like a turn-based game, and the only real turn-based game that I really enjoy is Pokemon. I just don't see myself really like loving this game. It's just not, doesn't seem like my type of game. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe I'd be proven wrong because I know there's some people out there that love Fire Emblem. It's like I need it because like it's rare and like it's like a big Nintendo game, but like I don't need it that bad. You know what I mean? So it's not like the last thing I would ever buy, but maybe I'll get it one day. You know what I mean? I'll get it one day. It's not something I'm gonna like push hard for out the gate. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance goes for $193.03. So as you can see, like it's one that I need. But like it's really expensive for something I don't know that I'll enjoy that much, like playing, you know? Okay, we're gonna move on to game number 3 here, which is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now this game, I actually had it growing up. Well, I didn't have it. My brother had it. Growing up, my brother actually had the Pokemon XD GameCube, which is actually very rare now, and one of the items we sold in the first episode we were able to pick up from somebody. And I wonder to this day, should we have kept that GameCube? Obviously, we wanted the orange one, but it would have been cool to have that in the collection too. And maybe one day we'll get it. I don't know. But we're not talking about the console right now. We're talking about the game. So my brother had this game growing up. We actually also had the first game in this series, if that's what you want to call it, which is Pokemon Colosseum. My oldest brother had that. And both games I remember were awesome. I remember they're really tough, but Pokemon is one of my favorite games of all time. So, of course, this is something I need in the collection. On top of everything that we want for GameCube, Parker and I are actually also pursuing every single Pokemon game. Let me clarify, every like main series Pokemon game. And these are kind of like spin-offs, but I kind of count them as main series as well. So, Pokemon XD, super cool game. You like go around trying to catch what are called shadow Pokemon. So you don't get to choose. It's not like Pokemon, you know, like Ruby or something where you just run out there and you're like, yeah, Pidgey, I want that. No, in this game, you have to catch Pokemon that are shadow Pokemon. So they're like Pokemon who've been like stolen or something like that, if I remember right. You have like this little device that like shows you if they're shadow Pokemon. And if they are, you can catch them. So like you still get the option to choose Pokemon that you want, but there's a much smaller list because it's got to be a shadow Pokemon. And then you have to like purify them, which takes a lot of time. So I've actually heard this is one of the most difficult Pokemon games. Now, Pokemon XD itself actually goes for $195.17. So it's pretty pricey. It's pretty pricey. Don't get me wrong, it's pricey. Again, this is one that we had growing up, so it's cool, and I need it for sure. So I'm gonna put this one at soon for sure, because soon for sure, I need Pokemon XD. It's awesome. Some people actually have a misconception that it's like one of the holy grails and one of the best items that you can get. It's up there for sure. It's very expensive, but it's not as expensive as some of the other stuff on this list. I mean, right now we're on number 3 of 10, so there's stuff that's more expensive. Good one for sure, one that I need, but there's some crazier stuff out there. Next up at number 4, we have the Game Boy Player. Now, this is actually interesting. So, at some point during the GameCube's lifespan, they decided to release what was called the Game Boy Player. And it's like a little attachment that you put onto the bottom of your GameCube, and it lets you put Game Boy games into it and play those Game Boy games on your TV. If I would have known this was a thing as a kid, I would have freaked out. Playing Pokemon on the TV is sick. So, yeah. Definitely something that I need, and it's really cool. But here's the problem about it. It's super expensive, and what's interesting about it is the attachment itself is not expensive. It's like 50-ish bucks, but the disc, you see, you can't just have the attachment, but you actually have to put a disc inside your GameCube called the Game Boy Player disc. So the Game Boy Player in total goes for $199.54, almost breaking that 200. And that is a combination of the actual attachment and the disc together. So I need this in my collection. Like, absolutely need this in my collection. And if you stayed to the end of episode 1, there was a little teaser. So I'm gonna throw this at I need it now because it's awesome. you gotta play Pokemon on your TV. That's freaking cool. So that is definitely I Need It Now, and maybe a future episode coming up soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, we are now at number 5 on our list, which is the Pokemon Colosseum bonus disc. Now, earlier I referenced Pokemon Colosseum. It is the first game in this series, I don't know what you're calling it, of the Pokemon GameCube games. It's the first one. They came out with Pokemon Colosseum, and then they came out with Pokemon XD. And Pokemon Colosseum is a great game. Loved it. We also had it growing up. We no longer do. And the game itself is worth a lot of money. It goes somewhere between like 150 to 175, I think. But apparently, like back in the day, if you pre-ordered the game, you also got the Pokemon Colosseum bonus disc. And this disc literally like doesn't do anything. The only thing that it does is when you put it into your GameCube, it lets you get the legendary Pokemon Jirachi. This is like one of the only ways back in the day that you could get Jirachi legit. So it was cool. I'm sure it was really cool. But like as a game, it's not a game. There's nothing for you to play. Like from everything that I've seen, you literally just boot it up. It's like you want Jirachi, you're like, heck yeah, I do, and then it gives it to you, and that's it. That's the whole thing. So it's cool because it's super rare, but it's not a game. I'm gonna throw this one in. I'll get it one day, maybe. Maybe I'll get it one day. Like, I want it, like, it's cool, and I love Pokemon, and I'm a big fan of Pokemon, but, like, it's not a game. It's just a Pokemon, Jirachi, and he's cool, but, like, he's not that cool. Let me tell you how expensive this is. The Pokemon bonus disc goes for $211.48. So, like, he's cool, but is he $211 cool? It's up to you, I guess. We are now on to number 6. Number 6 is a crazy one. We take a big price jump at this point, okay, because our last item was like $211. This next item goes for $425 complete in the box. We gotta have the box. It's cool. Is the Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw GameCube controller. This thing is awesome. Now I don't actually know how you like were able to get this back in the day. I don't know if it was like a pre-order or like a bonus thing. I don't know. Let's Google it. Let's see. Let's do some research real quick. It says it was an accessory to the game that was a collectible. The controllers were sold separately for $50 at the time when they came out. So that's crazy how much they've gone up in price. And there was 50,000 made of these. Now they actually have a PlayStation 2 version and a GameCube one. The PlayStation 2 one is orange and the GameCube one is yellow. The PlayStation 2 one is cool because like to pause the game, you like pull the ripcord on the chainsaw, and the GameCube one doesn't do that. But we're collecting GameCube here, obviously. So we're talking about GameCube today. So it's cool. It's a chainsaw controller. Apparently like the blood splatter that's on the controller, I have heard is like unique to that specific chainsaw that you get. And on the bottom of the chainsaw, it tells you like what number of chainsaw it is out of 50,000. So that's cool. That's super cool. This Resident Evil chainsaw is cool. It is super expensive. I want it really bad. Put it in soon for sure. Like, it's so cool. I need a lot more games in my collection, but this chainsaw is so cool. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Like one of my most coveted items for sure. It's not in like I need it now because like we don't have that many games as of episode 1. But the chainsaw, dude, it's cool. It's cool. Okay, on to number 7 here. Number 7, I'm doing a little bit of a cheating here. And I'm just kind of combining some of the most expensive GameCube games together. Let me explain, okay? So there are a few different games here that I'm combining. Chibi Robo, Cubivore, Go-Go Hyper Grind, and Gotcha Force. These are like ridiculously expensive games. They're cool to have in your collection because they're really expensive and they're really rare, but like I don't know that they're the coolest games in the world. Apparently people really like Chibi Robo. I've heard people are really into that, and some say that like Go-Go Hyper Grind and Cubivore and Gotcha Force are like hidden gems, but they're not really hidden. They're just like super expensive. So these aren't games that like jump out at you when you're like, oh, I'm gonna buy a GameCube. Like I gotta have Gotcha Force, you know what I mean? But Gotcha Force itself goes for $429.29, which is insane. It is more than the chainsaw. That is the most expensive of these games. Like Go-Go Hyper Grind is like in the 300 range. Cubivore, I don't even know. Let's look. Let's see what Cubivore is at. Oh my gosh. Okay, Cubivore is $528. So that's ridiculous. So apparently that one's actually more rare than Gotcha Force. And then Chibi Robo is like in the $200 range, but I'm just kind of grouping these together because they're like games that are rare and expensive for the sake of being rare and expensive. And they're cool to have in your collection because they're rare and expensive, but it's not the game you bust out. It's not the game you're playing all the time. It's just one that's cool to have. Like, it's cool to have. Like, maybe I'll play them a few times, but like, you know, they're just cool to have because they're expensive. I'm going to throw these ones in the last possible thing I would buy. And that's because they're so expensive. Like, it's cool. Let's see, we got Gotcha Force, Chibi Robo, Go-Go Hyper Grind. They're cool. They're cool games. Like, Go-Go Hyper Grind, you like skateboard and it's like a cartoon. Cubivore, like the graphics look super weird. You like eat cube monsters or something. Chibi Robo, you're like a tiny robot, and Gotcha Force is like some Transformers anime vibes thing. I don't know. So like, I want them. They're cool. I definitely would love to have them in my collection, but they're not the ones I'm going to be shooting for super hard out the gate. Last ones that I will get to complete my collection. Okay, next up we are going to move on to number 8. Okay, number 8, I've also grouped all of these together, and that is the Disney sports game. So these are interesting. There's a Disney skateboarding and a Disney soccer, and those ones are not that expensive. They go for like $30 or something like that, like between like 30 to 50. There is a Disney football that goes for like $200, and then the big granddaddy, the Whopper, is Disney sports basketball, which goes for $949.74. So that's insane. From my understanding, these are just like sports games where you are Disney characters. So like, do I like Disney? Yeah, it's cool. But I've heard that the Disney basketball game is like terrible. Not a good game. It's like just one that's rare because it's like it didn't sell very well, I guess. I guess they didn't make very many because it didn't do that well. So anyways, that goes for over $900, almost $1,000. So I'm gonna throw this into last possible thing I would buy. I'm sorry, I don't need it. Like everybody says, it's like super mid. It's just rare. So is it a crime that I'm putting that in the same place as Gotcha Force? Maybe. You can't disagree with the list. You just can't. Okay, next up we are at number 9, which is, again, a combination of a couple items. And those are some limited edition GameCubes. Now, specifically, I believe 2 of these came out in Japan, and then one of them came out in Europe. Here in the US, we got like 3 different colors of GameCubes. There was the black one, the silver one, and then the purple one. Parker and I worked hard to get the orange console, which was like limited to Japan. In Europe, instead of having the orange one, they actually had a white console, which is super cool. And the white console they paired with Mario Super Strikers, which is a soccer game. A fun, cool game. I think it's actually called like Mario Football or something like that because it was in Europe. It goes for like $400-ish in the box. In Japan, they came out with these other 2 limited edition consoles. So they came out with a teal console for the game Tales of Symphonia, which is an RPG, I believe. I don't know that much about it. I've watched some videos. It doesn't look that cool to me. I'm not that kind of RPG kind of guy. Maybe we have some diehard Tales of Symphonia fans in the comments. Please let me know if I need to play it. But the console is awesome. It's teal, and it actually comes with a Game Boy player that is also like this teal color. Is that really teal? It's like a mint green. It's like a mint green color, okay? So that one itself, again, goes for like the $400-ish range. It's really cool. It's a different color that we didn't have here in the US, and this is the only way to get it. And then the only way to get this red GameCube, this is the Gundam GameCube, which I don't know a lot about what like Gundam is, But this GameCube's cool. It's red. It's like one of the only ways to get the red controller. It also came with a Game Boy player, and it has like this cool, like smoky gray black panel in the front where you plug in your controllers, which is normally more of like a light gray. So yeah, it's cool. The Gundam one actually comes with an action figure as well from Gundam. I think it's like a robot thing. I don't know. Educate me more on Gundam. Yeah, that console itself goes for $1,076.40. But like, it's cool. It's red. I'm going to throw these ones in the... Maybe I'll get it one day. Maybe I'll get it one day. Can you imagine if I had them? Imagine on my shelf, all three of them. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I'd be into that. It's cool. You would think it's cool. Okay, and that only leaves us with number 10. Now, number 10 is the absolutely most expensive GameCube game ever. Most expensive GameCube item. If you know of a more expensive GameCube item, please tell me, but this is the most expensive GameCube item I have ever found. It is the Holy Grail of Holy Grails. If you are going to have an amazing GameCube collection, you have to have this Grail in it, and it is Pokemon Box. Now, you might look at that cover and say, dang, Jace, that looks like a cool game. It's like Ruby and Sapphire or something, but like on the GameCube. No, not really. Pokemon Box is a storage system for Ruby and Sapphire. So like essentially, you just can put your Pokemon that are on Pokemon Ruby, you just put them in this like storage system. You boot up this game and it's like, you want to hold your Pokemon here, and you just put them on there. And that's all it is. That's the entire thing. It's not a game, really. You just like hold your Pokemon on there. Apparently, from my understanding, which let's fact check me on this real quick. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so Pokemon Box came out in Japan as just like a regular game. But in North America, it came out in 2004, and it was actually exclusive to the Pokemon Center store in New York. So you could only get it if you went to that store or the online version of that store and somebody shipped it to you. So what's crazy about this game is how much it costs and how rare it is. Again, it's not even like a game. Most people say Disney Sports is the most expensive game because it's actually a game. This is just a storage system. Pokemon Box goes for $2,319.57. So that's absolutely insane. That's crazy. That is so expensive. It's not even a game. It's just expensive. Now what's crazy about this is like, you would think it can't go up from here, but that's actually only for like the game. If you want it in like it came in like this big cool cardboard box. If you want it in that big box, it's $3,500. So that's crazy. Okay, so the game itself, that's a last possible thing I would buy. Absolutely, like, it's so crazy. The box, the big box one, like, if you're gonna go big, if you're gonna spend that much money, like, you might as well just level up and get the big box one. You might as well spend like the $1,000-ish more dollars so you can have the big box because it's rare. We're gonna throw this one in again. The last possible thing I would buy. Sorry, I know I was hyping it up like it was gonna go in a different spot. But honestly, like, before any of this other stuff, I will buy all of these other games. Cube of War, Gotcha Force, Chibi Robo, Disney Basketball, before I buy Pokemon Box. Because it is absolutely ridiculous how expensive it is. Can you imagine reselling for that? Can you imagine? It took Parker and I 2 weeks for like 150 bucks. So for $3,500, let alone how would we find it? I don't know. But here's what I do know. I will buy every single one of these items. I will have the greatest GameCube collection this world has ever seen, okay? It's gonna be awesome when I have them all. And I'm asking you to join me on that journey. So go ahead, slam that subscribe button, and catch the next episode of Retro Resale where I hunt for the Game Boy player. I'll catch you guys there.